Hello everybody, this is Tazilon and I am in Redshire Encounter mode, North Spawn, a North American server, in my SP1C for the last of the series in the SP1C review. And we've already looked with a mission in using the 90mm MECAR single shot and a mission using the 90mm MECAR autocannon. So in this battle, we're going to look at the starter gun, the stock gun, the Delta 921 Foxtrot 1 90mm, and you will see that it is an extremely capable weapon. In fact, that's one of the best points of this tank. One thing you don't have to worry about when you buy an SP1C is its stock weapon. It is almost as good, and in some aspects it's better than the two better gun choices. It gets 10 millimeters less penetration with AP, 177 millimeters, compared to 180 for the two MECAR choices, but it has a little bit faster muzzle velocity, meaning your round is going to get to target quicker and not arc quite as much, making aiming easier, especially at moving targets. And it also weighs a little less. So the starter gun actually gives you the best specific power, and it's not quite noticeable because it's so small, but it does give you an agility and acceleration advantage over your other two choices, especially the autocannon. Not enough to make you keep the tank. I mean, keep the gun over the other two. However, it is just a small little advantage that you have there with the stock gun. Now, in this battle, we have 3 enemy scouts and 2 artillery, while we have 3 artillery and 2 scouts. Otherwise, both teams are pretty similar. A lot of heavies. They have 3 mediums and 1 TD. We have 2 mediums and 2 TDs. And I want you to watch as we go through this battle. Remember, keep in mind, this is the stock gun. You don't have to be one of those people who start in the beginning of the battle complaining that you have a stock weapon and can't pen anything. You can pen everything out here. And as we get going through the battle, I want you to watch how many times, whether it penetrates or not, that the round lands on target. Because overall the weapon's fairly accurate, and it pumps out a steady 220 to a little bit over 250 damage per shot. And the reload is just a tad bit slower than the 2801's 105, so you should be familiar with the rate of fire. It's depending on your equipment and crew, you're going to clock in at about 6.73 up to about 7 seconds. So it's going to be very similar to the 105 you just advanced from. You should be comfortable with it, and unlike the 105 where you don't always know what kind of damage you're going to get, this is very consistent in about the 220 to about 255 damage per round range. It's going to deliver that almost every shot you land. The other advantage that you have over many other scouts is that it's small. You haven't been in the scout this small since tier 4 and tier 5. So there's a lot of bushes that the other tier 7 and tier 8 scouts can't fit into that this thing can hide in like a champ. Small size, low profile, narrow width, and good camo values. And the muzzle flash isn't exceedingly bright, so even after you fire, you stay pretty stealthy. As we've talked about before, its big drawbacks, besides the lack of armor, which for a scout, who cares? Armor is armor. You can't get rammed in it because of the armor. But it's slow. It has a slow top speed, and it's not really agile. And that causes, it affects your gameplay decisions. Here, watch this. 401 meters away in a Chaffee. Pop. Does he see me? Nope. Try that with a 2801 and see if you get seen. Yep, you're getting spotted with a 2801 doing that. There's a T-34 from 371. Nope, can't see me. Multiple shots. But the combination of the slow speed, especially, and then the lack of agility, if you're at a beginning of a battle and you're trying to get to a vision control race where you're trying to get to a bush before the enemy scout can get to a bush. A good example of that would be like trying to go to the E1 bushes on Prokhorovka or Fiery Salient. The enemy scout's going to beat you there because you're too slow. Or if you're trying to go to a zone of control place like, say, the hills, the central mine in Mines, or the donut on Karelia, the hill on Karelia for you European divers that don't understand the donut, it's not going to beat the enemy tanks there, so it affects your gameplay. And when you're reviewing the order of battle, you really have to look, are there other fast scouts, are there fast mediums that are going to get there before me and cause me to die if I try to force my way in? Or is it better for me just to go to a different spot because I know I'm not going to win out on that race against the faster tanks? But the gun, as you're going to see throughout this battle, I already have 1,824 damage. I haven't even worked hard to get it. The gun is not a problem. It is definitely the highlight of this tank. I'm going to pull over here and see if I need to help out with these two Marty, but I think the Bulldog's going to be able to handle them himself. We've lost the fight in the east pass, so I'm not going to go that way. He kills the M12, so I'm going to turn around to my right, go to the center of the map, and join up with my team. Just keep an eye over to the right there and watch what those tanks in the east are going to do. We have a little bit of lead, 4-tank lead. I'll go throw some lead at these mediums over here and see if I can help out. I didn't aim in all the way that time, which you really should do, or at least almost all the way. When you aim in, it's very accurate.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Now I'm going to hit this guy in pennon multiple times and end up with the kill. He's not moving, that helps me out a lot. Don't have to worry about accuracy because I'm dialed in on him and he's sitting there. Just a matter of who gets the kill, and I do. On to the Persian. S-51's going spam crazy because he knows the heavies are coming in out of the pass and he's worried they're going to kill him. So he figures that it makes more sense to sit there and spam the map than to just move his tank. It'd be a lot better for him to move his tank to a safer spot, but he'd rather spam. I'm already over 3,000 damage. And I'm going to bend back to the left here, get out of the line of fire from that Tiger 2 that hit me. He's going to be, there he is. Nice, down in the river. See if I can shoot him from here. He sees me and turns his turret toward me, so I'll come behind the rock. Give myself a chance to get concealment back and see if I can shoot a little better this time. Bang! 260 against the Tiger 2. The thing has punch. Remember, stock gun. This is what you start off with. One of those few tanks besides premiums where the gun you get to begin is actually an excellent gun. And it's not even good. This is the downright excellent gun. So you end up playing the tank a lot like an AMX ELC. It's a hybrid Scout TD. Just doesn't have the agility that the AMX does. Had a bad angle there. Let's see if I can... Oh, he's looking at me. I'll just back up, let the other guy kill him. Now it's just the Tiger 2 to go. If this thing could go 65, it would be, everybody would be screaming that it was OP. Try to shoot his commander's hatch and didn't hurt him. And before we can kill him, they cap and end the fight. I end up with 3,000 355 points of damage. 2 kills, 1,536 assisted damage, 5 spots. I shot 19 out of 23 shots landed, 83%, and I got a High Caliber and Confederate medal. And remember, this is my stock gun. So, there's a look at all 3 of the different guns over the last 3 films that you have with the SP1C, and hopefully you can see it doesn't matter which weapon you choose, they're all going to serve you well, and it's just going to be a matter of individual preference. What I recommend is upgrade your gun last. Get everything else on your tank outfitted out as high as you can get it, because this gun will serve you well. You may as well get everything else maxed out, and then play each of the 2 me card choices for a while, as many battles as you think you need to make a choice. Play some with the single shot 90mm, and then play some with the autocannon, and decide which weapon better suits your playstyle, because it does impact how you play a little bit. And you're going to be happy with any gun choice you make, because that is not the problem with this tank. You have to adjust to its lack of speed and to its lack of agility, and the fact that you can't let anything run into you, because anything bigger than a butterfly is going to kill you. But you're going to enjoy the gun. The idea is to develop a playstyle with this tank where you can combine passive spotting with sniping. Again, a AMX ELC BIS driver should fit in to this platform very well. Just a different style when moving in close and trying to side hug people. But it's never going to be the best tank in its class. It's never going to be the worst. And throughout everything, its gun is always going to be your best friend while you're riding around this little tank. From Redshire Encounter mode in my stock gun, getting over 3k damage. Happy hunting.